magnificently blooming like the cherry trees that line the swiftly flowing rivers in Japan every spring. It's DIA, or Dudes in Asia. What up, Dudemaniacs? As always, this is David Hayter.
And this is David Nguyen, aka Shingeki no Nuki.
Welcome to episode 24. Today we're talking about bad expat habits. You know, these are the type of habits that one should avoid, especially when living abroad.
Living out here for about 5 years now, you can definitely see some things that expats are doing that they shouldn't be doing. So for today's ep, we're going to share our thoughts about some bad habits and things we should avoid. So yeah, bro, what's good with you, my man?
I don't know. Like I always say the same stuff. No, it's cool, man. It's like, things are just still getting busy at work and whatnot.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe I didn't work out like last, was it Thursday? And like Friday, but I don't know, went out on like Saturday night, had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it's like one of those things like, if you don't work out for a little bit, just try to get back on it later,
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, like this Saturday we went out with some of our old teacher friends.
Nice.
And, yeah, this is one place called, it's called Fujiyama. It's called, like, Mount Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
That place is bomb, dude. So it's like 5,000 yen for, like, a dinner and, like, all you can drink for 3 hours. Yeah, so we did some damage over there.
Sounds good.
But they specialize in like chanko nabe. You know about that?
No, I don't, sir.
So nabe is like hot pot, right? And then chanko nabe is like the kind of hot pot that like sumo wrestlers eat like all the time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the place is pretty good. I think I have a lot of pictures. Maybe I'll make a food blog about it one time.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it wasn't bad. But I don't know, whenever we party, we always have like the pre-party, know, and then we go to the actual party. And then we took some of the other teachers to go eat kebab from the homie.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like everybody else took off, and I don't know, we went to like another bar, and then we went to like a cocktail bar. It's good times, man.
Good times indeed.
But yeah, Sunday I was in a bad way, man. I was just like recovery mode all day. Almost like bled over until today. I don't know what it was, man, because I've drank more before, you know what I mean? Maybe it was something with the food or just like too much or a combination.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe, man.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not 31 anymore,
No, you are not, sir.
Hi-yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what's good with you, dog?
Picked up a mic today, as you guys can probably hear the difference in audio quality.
Yeah, I think so, dude.
Yeah, and then, man, this past week I've been busy, dude. So pretty much, like, VC had this, like, really nice pad, and then we've been talking about this barbecue thing for a while, like, doing a barbecue and, like, really hooking up the place up. So then just, like, me and a friend decided to just move forward and actually make it happen. So we drove around, like, Ho Chi Minh City trying to find a good grill, and then we came across this one place called Saigon Barbecues, and it's a pretty dope spot, dude. They actually make customized grill, but you could actually have like a gas grill, but you could convert it to have like a coals on top of it too. Oh, dude, it's done by Australians, and they know barbecuing, and it's a really sick grill, all stainless steel, custom, like 4 burners for like $700.
Not bad, man.
Yeah, and this has like a rotisserie on it. Dude, you could customize. Okay, I want these 3 grills to be like this. I want a warmer on this side. Like, it's dope. It's so dope, man. And then because we bought it, and it was like, it takes about 1 week to do it, they gave us like a rental. So we just went through with it. They dropped off the rental. We had a pretty dope barbecue on Saturday. We had like Korean barbecue, get some ribeye steaks. Some pasta salads and some pretty good alcohol. So it was good times, man.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like it, dude.
Yeah, it was indeed some good times, man. But it's about to get better. We're about to like really hook this place up. So should be good times indeed.
Yeah, today we're talking about bad expat habits. I don't know, man. I feel like as I get older, I start to kind of realize the power of habits, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, having good habits makes your life a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, having bad habits can really kind of, like, you know, take away from that, kind of hold you back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I think starting off first, you know, thinking about bad expat habits, I think maybe one of them is just, like, you know, some people just decide to move to another country and they don't really do their research like ahead of time, you know? Like they don't really care to find out about where they're going to, you know? Like, I don't know if it's like that for other countries, but I know especially
I
like
think,
for...
I think Vietnam requires a bigger like commitment level where you would kind of have to do some research to know what's going on. I think people have this fantasy of Japan that they would probably just jump ship and not actually realize what's going on, compared to like Vietnam where they kind of think it's like backwards and slow and not developed. That's just my opinion, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say too, man. I think a lot of it does come from like people consuming the media.
Yep.
And it's like because they've watched so much anime or they've played X amount of like video games, they think they know the country.
Correct.
You know, but that's like if you watched all the Fast and the Furious movies, you think you know America.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just, that's one thing that I've seen, you know, is they don't really look up anything. They don't really look too much into the situation, like the exact situation they're going to be in. And then also like some of the more cultural like do's and don'ts. But I think that's another thing with Japan too, is that there's so many rules and whatnot, you know? It helps if you know those.
Yeah. I think Vietnam's slowly becoming a place where people just up and go. I don't think about up and like move yet, but it takes a couple of times. But once that kicks in, people fall in love with this country.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I think though too, because a lot of people who do come to Japan, like they come over as English teachers.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like that direct pipeline, you know, like graduate college, teach in Japan, you know?
Yeah.
You don't really have that with Vietnam. Like, you're going to have to go seek it out more on your own.
Correct.
You know?
There's no like a smooth program that actually does something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't think most people. I mean, yeah, just Japan's just different. So the people don't have don't aspirations of like going to Vietnam unless they like been here, traveled around, and eventually just realize like how much it's compatible with them. But it's not like Japan where there's like it's just like such a mystified country to them, and they just assume that's like so awesome. I mean, I'm pretty sure Japan still is, but there's just not enough research, right? Then they just go there and just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think so. You know, or especially with like, you know, people who do like JET program or other like national employers, like they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll be in Tokyo, it'll be fine. It's like you're in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. Like, damn it. You know, it's a big difference, dude.
What's the next item on your list?
You know what? My next one that I had was comparing everything to your own country.
Oh, dude, that's an issue here as well. I think that's just every expat, right? Anywhere you go, there's going to be a group of people that just like, how come the toilets are like this? How come they don't flush their TP in the toilet and they just put it in the trash bin? Like, all they do is just compare, and I was like, if you don't want to be here, then just go back, son.
Yeah, like there's always going to be some level of comparison, right? Because you have to have some kind of starting point.
Correct.
But yeah, like there's the kind where it's like the healthy comparison, and then there's the one where it's just like bitching, like just complaining, you know?
Yeah. I remember, I might have shared this story already. Like, one of my first trips in Vietnam, I actually went solo, not with my mom. I bunked with a 7-year-old, like, ex-Marine from the U.S., and every day it was just pissing and moaning about how it wasn't like America. And it's like, dude, then get your ass back home. But, you know, he had like a 30-year-old fiance who was trying to milk him to go to America, and I told him directly on the first day I met her, I was like, yeah, dude, she's using you. He's like, no, she loves me. He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but like every day he would just complain. I remember if the keyboard didn't work, he would just like smash it on the table type stuff and just complain every day. It's like, dude, like, it was bad, dude. I was like, you got to get the hell out of here.
For sure, man.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the worst case of a person who just couldn't stop comparing everything to back home. Yeah, yeah, that was the worst case I witnessed. But but you always meet people who just complain here and there.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like, I don't know, at least in Japan, that's probably more like when people first come out here. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully they kind of get over it. Mm-hmm. But then after like a few years, it's like, all right, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, we know the deal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you kind of get used to it after a while.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta learn to adapt. But if you come out here and you still stay in your own bubble, man, then there's not much could be said.
Yeah, man. So, it brings me to the next one on my list. And I feel like maybe this is something for younger people, but I don't know, like maybe some older people would do it too.
Yeah.
But it's basically like not budgeting and just blowing all of your cash. You know,
I think it's like you said, when you go to another country and you use their currency, it feels like monopoly money, right? So people don't take it seriously, right?
Yeah.
It's like, dog, this is easy. Da, 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 da. Like they don't put it like hand in hand that this is still cash. This is still money. But because they're in another country, it's like, this is toy money. And then there they go, right?
Yeah. Oh, and well, like for some people, if they just graduated college, like maybe this is the first like real job they've had, like a serious like paycheck.
Yeah.
But then too, it could be like their first time living on their own.
Yeah.
You know, and like they actually have to pay their own rent and like bills and stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of people, like maybe they just go out and eat all the time and they just go out drinking all the time and they never really like take time to see how much everything adds up to, you know?
Yeah. That's definitely that's definitely an age group issue, right? If they're in their 20s, most likely just like this is all shit and games, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. At least I'd hope that older people are
I hope
better than that.
Yeah. That's a big hope. Because some people some people is like once they get in that habit, man, they can't really turn back. It's just what they know. It's just what they found their new comfort zone.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like the people that I've known like that, maybe it's because they've always had a safety net before, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And so, like, maybe if they blow all their money, and then they're like, oh, man, I'm broke. Help me. And somebody's like, okay, here you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know, man. I think, especially for people when they first move to another country, it's actually a good way to kind of know where you are. Mm-hmm. Is like shop around a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And like don't just come across like the first thing that you see. Like, I don't know, before I would like buy stuff for my house, I'd check like 2-3 different stores, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you kind of get to know the town a little more. You get to see like what's a good price, what's not a good price, you know? But I don't know, I feel like in Japan that can be a big deal, because things are more expensive, but like in a place like Vietnam, like you're saving like you're paying like $1 versus like 75 cents, like
yeah. Exactly. It's like
maybe yeah,
well, like because they do a pretty good job in Vietnam of like the balance rate, because it's a communist country. They gotta have like a pretty fair price across the board. Around like the neighborhood shop would sell almost the same price as the supermarket, to at least be fair for everyone. So it's almost like, I might save like 10 cents or 20 cents. It's like, you just pick it up, you know?
Yeah.
That's after experience of doing a lot of shopping.
Yeah. And well, I think the thing too is like, you know, sometimes it's worth it to just spend like the extra buck where you are. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, is the amount of money you're going to save like worth the amount of time you're going to waste going to another place?
Correct.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. All right. So, yeah, the next one I have on my list is drinking to excess. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like, especially among some expats, man, that can happen pretty badly. You know what I mean?
I completely agree with you there. Vietnam's no different in terms of that. I know people just get down, like, you know, back home they might do it twice a week, but in Vietnam, they just probably go 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah, yeah. And well, I feel like maybe some of it is like they're trying to deal with like, like culture shock, maybe like feeling isolated and stuff,
Yeah.
But it's kind of just like a bad coping mechanism,
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I could say from my perspective that I've noticed it's 40% is more for networking, but the other 60% is exactly kind of like the whole coping issue. Just like, I don't know what to do in my spare time, and I might as well just like go get fucked up instead of do stuff you would do back home and just not, be forced to go out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
For
drinking,
sure.
because I think Japan and Vietnam has a very drinking culture and not any other drug outside of it.
Yes, that's very true, man.
So I was like, well, if I don't have an option of doing something else and alcohol is like perfectly legal, then I am going to get down on alcohol.
Yeah, and it's actually a lot cheaper, than a lot of other countries,
Correct.
Like Vietnam, like 50 cent a beer, like at the store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like $1 for Heineken, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then like even in Japan, like I know some spots you get like a beer for 200 yen, all you can drink like $10.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I think like maybe people are spending the same amount of money as they would in their home country, and then they're just getting a lot more, like for that same dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I always feel like something can be fun, if you enjoy doing it and you have a good time.
Yeah.
But then like when it starts to take away from other parts of your life, like if you're noticing like your health is in decline, or like you're just getting really drunk and doing dumb things, like maybe it's time to back up off it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I don't know, man, like I said before too, when you first come to the country, you don't know that many people, but then like after a while, you know a lot of people. Mm-hmm. It's like if you go out to like everything you're invited to, man, you'll just be going out every night of the week.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then for I don't know, people that do have problems like drinking too much all the time, it's like they have to find something else to replace that habit.
Correct.
Yeah, because I don't know, I've known some people that just they seem like they try to like white knuckle it for like a month and they just go back to hitting it hard.
Yeah. A lot of people do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But yeah, for me, I just try to keep it real, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna get drunk every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try not to do it most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, actually, so Vietnam, like all of a sudden, you kind of notice that weed is actually like being more tolerable around, and I'm seeing some friends kind of just like, oh, dude, you're a pothead. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
So you guys are just, abusing a new substance. I mean, it's a lot. It seems like we were at VC's place the other day, and he got like pretty good stuff delivered, like fairly fast.
Oh wow.
Like really good stuff. Like there's this thing called like something kind of moon rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's like weed covered in hash oil, covered in tincture and something else. It's just like super condensed and packed. Anyways,
Wow.
I mean, it's like, wow, the quality is here, and now you're seeing like weed being more open, and now I'm kind of hearing and seeing. So it's like, dude, don't be smoking every day, yo.
Yeah.
This is actually like it's a little bit of both. It's not just expats, like because once people realized they actually had good quality stuff, they kind of started getting carried away with it. But also kind of know the locals are kind of getting away with like kind of falling down that trap too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once the locals realize there's some good weed out here, they're just like, ooh, it's like, dude, chill out, man.
Yeah, they're gonna get stuck on it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, like with anything, man, like weed or drink or whatever, like to me, it's like a reward after a hard day of work.
Correct. That's the way I was approaching it. Because if you
so,
start your day with that, it's like, dude, what did you do to earn it?
Exactly. Yeah. So. It's like try to take care of some business first, and then if there's time, you can enjoy that.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Next.
But yeah,
go ahead.
the next one kind of goes a little bit with this last one. Some people do them together, but just kind of like isolating yourself, or staying kind of like in a gaijin bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like, especially when you first come to a country, it is kind of hard to make friends from that country.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, hopefully that's why you've learned about the culture. Like, maybe you've joined a language class or something, you know, like you're learning how to speak the language. Because, yeah, man, like, if you went to another country and then all you're going to do is just stay in your room all day, like, you could have stayed in your own country and done that. You know? Yeah.
I mean, do you think like they left assuming that when they got to Japan they would be like special?
I don't know, or maybe like people just didn't really think, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think like people are used to making friends in college and like friends at school.
Like where it's convenient, but they're not actually being proactive, right?
Yeah, you know, and if you think about it, you have a lot more free time in like college and like school.
Yep.
And there's a bigger like section of people that you can possibly meet.
Yeah, they're
you know?
your age group, possibly similarities in the same area, so it's easier to kind of make new friends compared to throwing yourself in another country, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then like thinking about Japan, like a lot of the people work very long hours, you know. And so like maybe you get off of work at like 4:15, 4:30, like the average person probably gets off of work like 6, 7, 8, you know.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to have like instant homies to go kick it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So is Japan a little different because Vietnam is, if you're a foreigner, most likely there'll be some Vietnamese people who just want to be your friend more for learning English or just because they want to have a foreigner buddy. But I don't think that's like Japanese people kind of like thinking, right? Because that's
sometimes.
Yeah. For me,
sometimes,
it looks like it's kind of harder to isolate yourself here because you're just like a foreigner. People's going to approach you, and then eventually you probably find a friend. Like these people are the ones that are proactive to meet you, compared to like you have to be proactive to meet them. But I'm not sure if it kind of follows the same suit in Japan or. I mean, that's just my observation here.
Yeah, a little bit, but then sometimes you get the one where the person who approaches you, like maybe you don't want to be friends with them. Like,
Oh,
it might
you
be a
get
little creepy.
you get plenty of
like,
those.
You know,
You get plenty of those.
yeah. But then I feel like some people too, though, like you have to be in that situation to be approached.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
It's like some people, all they do is like go to work and then like come home and like that's it.
Yeah, they're not okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like if they don't go out to like a bar or like a coffee shop or some type of meeting or something somewhere, then they'll never have that encounter, you know? Or like, you know, if people just always kick it with their gaijin bubble of friends, you know, then it's like you never really get out of that, like, because you don't need to, you know what I mean?
Jeez.
Yeah. And then it's just kind of like people like all not assimilating together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, I think that's just the thing, though, too, is, like, you figure that you came to another country to do some things you couldn't do in your own country. You know, so it's like you could have hung out with people from your own country back there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think it's just good to get out, have fun, meet some new people, you know. And, yeah, I feel like even something is better than nothing, you know. And then it especially is like helpful if you join kind of like community groups, you know, like I noticed that there are like all these like free things you can do or like low cost things that all these people put on, and a lot of people just don't take advantage of them, you know.
Yeah, they're just living in a world full of blinders, right? They're not seeking like the stuff that's actually out there.
Yeah, I think so, but I think it's becoming a newer phenomenon because like you think about like smartphones and like social media.
True.
And it's like I moved halfway across the world. I still got all my homeboys in my pocket, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've seen like, you know, some people like they're at the store just having like phone conversations with people from back home, you know? I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you know. And so it's like because they have access to all their other friends, then it's like they're not really ever going to make friends out here.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so it can be kind of trippy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I think we're kind of getting towards the end of it here, dude. You have anything else that you wanted to add to it?
No, not really, man. I think we could share the kind of similar points that we noticed.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for another fresh episode of Dudes in Asia. I remember I read somewhere that we are the things we do every day. So if you do good things every day, you'll have good results.
So, yeah, if you guys are in another country, just, it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's where you're going to hit the most growth. So just be uncomfortable, embrace it, and then just see what else comes from it. Most likely beautiful and better things. Anyway, this is Noogie, aka Shingeki no Noogie, signing out. Be sure to check out our blog at dudesinasia.blogspot.com or hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/dudesinasia.
Yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, search for @DavidHater. That's @DavidHater. Peace out.
Peace out, everyone.